Hello everyone, and here we have a news story. Before we get to that, I want to ask you to subscribe, like, and be sure to write comments in order to participate in the development of the community. Write how to improve my community, current topics and the stories you are interested in, and much more. I read and listen to all the comments. People write me stories by mail from different countries. There are problems with translation. I apologize for this. I will work on it and try to fix these errors. I want to thank everyone for their support and the people who wrote to me by mail, broadcast news stories. New videos on my channel are published once every 2 days at 7 p.m. Don't forget to put a bell in order not to miss new videos. And now let's go. Hello, I want to tell you my story. At the time of the events, I was still young and full of energy. I recently got a promotion. I was very much in love with my girlfriend and I decided to live together. After a while, we made a wedding. We had many common interests and tastes. We always had something to talk about. She was in her 5th year of medical university. She was very beautiful and I really liked her. I picked her up from the dorm. We rented an apartment with a very good repair, but there was no furniture in the apartment. Therefore, we slept on an air mattress for the first 2 months. This case is fixable. I had very good salary for our region. I worked overtime and had good salary allowances. So we lived together for about a year. During the year, I've equipped the apartment and bought a lot of household appliances and furniture. I even thought about taking out a loan and buying out this apartment. Our apartment is always clean and tidy. Anyone who studied at the military institute will immediately understand me. I fully provided our family. My wife earned very little, but I understood her because she had to buy pads, cosmetics, and so on. Plus, she was still studying at the university. She tried to earn extra money, but she didn't always succeed. I was constantly cooking something delicious. Because my wife's cooking level was not very good. Its maximum is to fry eggs, cook pasta, or potatoes. We lived soul to soul. I've never cheated on my wife. Once we went to the sauna with the guys and someone ordered the girls, but I refused and said that I have a wife. I thought it was the right thing to do, and I had to be honest with my soulmate. One fine day at 4 a.m., the mobile phone rings, it was an alarm, and I was called to work urgently. I gathered the necessary things and moved to the unit. I have to be at the gathering place within an hour. My group received an order to inspect the forest, because prisoners have escaped and we need to find them. My wife already understood everything, so she additionally collected a bag of food and cigarettes for me. By the way, before leaving, my wife said that she loves me. She kissed me and told me to come home faster. In 95 cases, the inspection of the forest does not lead to anything, but we stubbornly, in accordance with the order, walk along the ravines for 3 days. This time we were successful. Another group caught the escaped prisoners about a day later. They were 200 meters from the highway. Superiors thanked us and let us go home. We're driving into town and I get to my house around 7 a.m. I quietly open the front door and feel something wrong. There are a lot of jackets on a hanger in the hallway and someone else's shoes. I pull myself together and quietly whisper, "The emptiness is cold." This is my calming mantra. I take off my shoes and walk quietly around the apartment. The apartment is a terrible mess like after a bombing. All that remained was to turn over the kitchen table and smear the walls with shit. It was like a student party. In the toilet, they vomited all night, even on the walls. The faucet was broken and a jet of water was pouring out of it. Some guy was sleeping in my bathroom. There's mayhem in the kitchen and another drunk guy in the corner. One of the wall cabinets is torn off and lying on the floor. There are a lot of bottles scattered around the house. There was a bong on the windowsill for those who did not know this device to smoke weed. I go into the bedroom and watch. Some couple is sleeping on the couch. The broken TV is lying on the floor. In the corner lies my military uniform with awards. Perhaps they were drunk and photographed in my military uniform. My wife is lying on my bed with her bare ass in an embrace with some guy. 2 used condoms are lying next to them. I wanted to throw both of them off the balcony, but I restrained myself. In a rage, I went out on the balcony to smoke. But I regretted that I went out there. There was a lot of vomit on the balcony and a plate from the kitchen that was used instead of an ashtray. The entire lacquered wood windowsill was filled with cigarette butts. I couldn't find my plant collection. I looked down and saw them on the road. It must have been fun throwing pots of plants from the 5th floor. At that moment, There was no limit to the rage, and I snapped. If my wife cheated on me drunk, I probably would have forgiven her, but that's not for sure. But she destroyed our home. I worked overtime to create comfort. I fed my wife and dressed her. In general, I paid for everything. I denied myself a lot because I invested everything in the house and in my wife. How did she thank me? She started an erotic orgy with alcohol, drugs, and debauchery. I finished my cigarette and carefully put out the butt. I went to destroy everyone who was in my house. I started kicking everyone out of my house. I just came off ferociously, wildly, and with pleasure. It was very difficult for these people mentally, because it's hard to resist a man in camouflage, especially when you're sleeping and you're hungover. I didn't touch the girls. There were 2 of them. This is my wife and another girl. In a rage, I shouted that they had until the evening to fix everything and do as it was before the party. My wife was sitting and crying on the bed. She looked at me with her shy eyes. My wife was screaming, "I'm sorry, I'll explain everything." In response, I said that she also had until the evening to pack her things and get out of my house. In general, I turned around and went to my friend to share my grief. When I got home, there was no one there, but the house was in order. Then one guy called me and brought me a new TV. He asked me not to report it to the police. He was afraid that they would be expelled from the university. My ex-wife wrote to me for a month without stopping. "Forgive me, I love you very much," and so on. But I told her not to catch my eye anymore. I divorced her and live alone. I haven't found a new girl yet. But to be honest, I don't want a new relationship yet. What do you say about this story? If you liked it, give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, so as not to miss new videos. Now let's move on to the opinion of the author of the channel. The opinion of the author of the channel. By tradition, I want to wish strength and patience. When I listened to your story, to be honest, I was shocked. You made the right choice. Your wife was acting like a little girl. I think you need to find older girls and everything will be fine. The most important thing is not to get depressed. It was a mistake in your life that helped you gain experience. Move forward and develop. I think it won't be difficult for you to find a new girlfriend for the family. This time, approach the choice very carefully. I think subscribers will write you a decent advice in the comments. I myself am interested in hearing the opinion of our community. In general, friends, write your opinion and give a thumbs up to promote the channel. I have very little left and will have 1,000 subscribers. I am very glad that I'm approaching this figure. And I want to say thank you so much. If you have watched to the end, I want to say thank you very much. I love you all. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey of love, betrayal, and redemption. I appreciate your support and encourage you to subscribe, like, and share this story. Your participation and feedback are invaluable for shaping our content and promoting mutual understanding and community growth. Until we meet again.